Hello and welcome to today's video in high altitude investing. So today's video is going to be the easiest way I know how to double check to see if an entry is good. If you can actually say, okay, that is definitely a good entry and I should take it and seize the opportunity. Because a lot of trading is just timing and opportunity, and so if you are looking and you're looking for a coin to enter in on and you just can't seem to find that good entry, the easiest way that I have found to double check to make sure that your entries that look good are good is this method here. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what that is. Let me switch here. Okay, awesome. Now we're on our screen here. So what's the secret? What's the big secret for entries in cryptocurrencies? Well, there's not a secret, and that sounds cliche, and everybody always says that oh, there's not one single secret for trading, or oh, there's not one trading plan that always works. Well, there is trading plans that don't always work but always win, and that's what matters. It doesn't mean, well, let me word that a little differently. It's not that they always win, it's that their winners are always bigger than their losers, and they're consistently winning enough to always be in profit. And the way I see it is if you can always be profitable, then that is a perfect trading plan. I mean, you might be able to do some adjustments to it, but it's perfect once you start consistently finding something, whatever your niche in the market is, because there's lots of things you can backtest and find in these cryptocurrency markets that you can develop trading plans around that work really well. But if you don't have a plan, you don't know how to develop that plan, you don't know how to make adjustments to it, you don't know how to know what you're doing wrong every time because you're not keeping track. So it's necessary to develop a trading plan for whatever niche in the crypto market that you're looking to trade. And by niche, I usually mean like little pattern that always, has a high probability of turning out the same. So, okay, how do I double check for entries? Well, at the end of the day, it's really quite simple. I use Bitcoin. It's not some big secret. It's something everybody can do. Anybody can hop on and look at the price of Bitcoin. But nobody does, or a very, very small percentage consistently watch the price of Bitcoin, yet the majority of the volume, 90%, is all in Bitcoin, meaning that it's leaving Bitcoin when people invest in alts, okay? So what that means is if the money is coming from Bitcoin, it could still be portaling through US dollar, right? If it's coming from Bitcoin, the prices of altcoins are all affected by Bitcoin's price. So if they're traded against it, and if the majority of the volume is in Bitcoin, and the majority is. So that holds true. But if you look and you're like, okay, like this one's down 12%, right? Yes, Dogecoin is down 12%. Whether that means it's a good entry or not, probably not. You know why? And I'll show you why. Here's the big secret, or whatever you want to call it. This is the most effective way I have ever found to double check entries. Okay? So, if we look at Dogecoin, yes, you look and you're like, okay, Dogecoin is down, right? Dogecoin is down 12%. And I'm not saying that it won't go up tomorrow. It definitely could. But if I look at Dogecoin, I'm looking to confirm this entry, okay? To confirm this entry, what I have found personally, this is my personal, from personal experience trading cryptocurrencies, I have found that the second swing down after a Bitcoin pump is the best entry you can get. So, what I mean by that is, let's do this, you know, and according to time frame. If we look 1 month of Dogecoin, okay, Bitcoin started pumping right here when prices fell out of, let's go with 2 hours. So Bitcoin started mooning right here, okay? It started going really, really high right here. Now, prices in Dogecoin were rejected out of this high. Somebody asked me what rejection means in my last video in the comments, so shout out to the question. What I mean by rejection is prices hit a certain point and they don't want to go any further. So it was rejected out of this high. If you look at the bottom, prices get rejected from this low. Okay? Now, why is this relative? Well, this is a pretty good entry in Dogecoin right now. It's not the best because you didn't get on the bottom of the second swing right here at 37 Satoshi. That is the best possible entry. Right here is a little more risky of an entry. But if it holds true, then it should be a good one. It should be good enough. It's a little more risky because you didn't get as low as you could here at 37 Satoshis, but nobody can get as, nobody can consistently always get as low as they can. You can trade patterns. If you see a pattern and there's majority percentage of the time something happens afterwards, and the majority of the percentage of the time I see on these second swing downs after Bitcoin red days, I see pullbacks of 30% usually, like 30% pullbacks in these coins. Which is a lot of money to capitalize off if you can do it every time. I'm looking at Dogecoin. I look at the entry. The entry isn't terrible. Obviously, it's not as good as I should, but it's a good entry. It's not bad. As you can see, if you look at Bitcoin's prices in the same time frame, 2 hours, 1 month. Okay, Bitcoin prices in the same time frame when Bitcoin started mooning. Okay, we have this first swing up. That's what causes the first dump in altcoins. This is all right for entries. Okay, this pattern is inverted. It's just green and up on the top of the screen here, but it's the same pattern that occurred in all altcoins when this happened. So what do you want? When are altcoin entries best? When Bitcoin is hitting a rejection point. So I mentioned that Bitcoin should hit 1580. On Poloniex it has. Whatever price that you want to go off of, that's up to you. But on Poloniex, it's hit my target zone. So I'm calling that good. I'm calling that a called trade. I said that was the first major resistance, and it looks like we've had, some resistance, but it's not major resistance yet. So we could still go up quite a bit here in Bitcoin, which is something to watch for because of your entry. But here's what really, really tells me good altcoin entries. So right now could be a very good altcoin entry. Okay, it has a pretty good risk to reward ratio to be entering in altcoins. If you're looking to swing trade 30%, which is what I generally do. Or at least recently, that's what I've been developing, is a trading plan based around that. So the best place to reject or to enter altcoins is the second swing up in Bitcoin. So if altcoin prices swing down twice, okay, when Bitcoin swings up twice, that's what you're looking for, is that second swing in Bitcoin. So how do you define the first swing? Well, I define the first swing when it breaks past an all-time high, or a previous all-time high. So the first swing, after this bottom formation in Bitcoin that happened back in 2015, the first swing is when it broke this high that it made at 500. So the first swing is right here, okay, when Bitcoin prices go from 440 to 580. The second swing is when Bitcoin prices, so that's the first pump. You're looking for the initial pump. Second swing is when Bitcoin prices went from 590 to 780. This is when you're looking to enter in altcoins. This is the best possible entries that you can find in altcoins. Almost every time I've ever entered based on Bitcoin rejection, I find a good entry in alts. So that's where you're looking to enter an altcoin, 790. By the way, I'm looking to make a live trading video for you guys, see if we can catch some profits live, but I'm waiting for another one of these really golden entries to occur so that I can show you me buying in right when prices. Yes, entries on altcoins are pretty good right now, but they're not the best, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why. They might be the best day swing trading, but I think that the entries will get better. So, like if you're going long term, because you can use this in any time frame. So at the start I was talking short term. Okay, that's those 30% swings that I'm trying to catch in markets. When they hit these lows, they come back down to 786 and bounce up 30%. Okay, that's what I like to trade. But if you're looking this on a bigger time frame, Bitcoin just broke its first pump. Okay, so after it broke here, this high at 1286, here's our first pump up. Okay, prices will probably get rejected in this area, making for a very short-term entry in altcoins. Okay, then I expect prices to pull back from this high that we're at into like 1448 on Poloniex. So prices on Poloniex for Bitcoin, since that's what I'm looking at. I expect prices to pull back into $1,435 or so, this little small rejection that we had. And then I expect that second swing up that I'm talking about, making for really good long-term entries in altcoins. So basically, Bitcoin's at its first swing up. That's doing this right here, where it swings up, hits some rejection, very small little swing trade here. That 30% I like. It can occur here, and then you can get like 100% sometimes entering on these secondary rejections in Bitcoin prices. So if Bitcoin does do what I think it will, which is short term get rejected a little bit, altcoins might have a swing up for a minute, okay? Like a few days, like a week maybe tops, okay? Prices will get rejected in Bitcoin. This is my prediction based on these factors and you know, just from what I'm seeing in general in Bitcoin. So prices will get rejected short term in Bitcoin. They'll catch leverage. They'll go for a secondary pump, possibly to upwards of $2,000. That might be a little on the high end, but 1,800 is about my range of expected price rejection. And that's a very bold prediction, but this is just based on what I see. And sometimes history can be the best indicator. Okay, so if not the majority of the time, history is the best indicator. If you can find something that statistically is historically useful, okay, like cipher patterns. Google cipher pattern if you ever want to find a pattern that's statistically useful. So yeah, basically statistically usefully speaking, Bitcoin has a secondary swing up in prices, causing for the best altcoin entries. Meaning, entries right now might be okay. You might be able to swing trade some profits, which I do. Don't get me wrong, you know, I do that all the time. So, be watching for that. If that's what you do, do it. Right now it's probably a good time. If you're looking for that golden entry on altcoins, wait. Hold out for a little bit. I know all the markets look really good right now, but what I would do is I would wait for that second Bitcoin pump, and then I would just dump money in altcoins because they will go crazy. I think when that happens, we're going to see a very, very nice swing in altcoin prices. So yeah, that's basically what today's video is about, is some tips I have for entries. Some people might call this the big secret. I call it a very useful thing I've learned that I would like to share. So yeah, that's what it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I appreciate all of the love, the comments, everything that you guys have been doing to show support for me. That goes a long ways. I've been growing the company. I've been working on, I've got a new camera coming in the mail, should be here very soon, which will cause for much better shots. I've got some new people on my team. So James and my friend Donovan are helping me with high altitude investing, and so that should really go a long ways to make this channel a better place. So he's, that's with like videography and stuff. I'm going to be doing the video still. That might change down the road. Well, not like me not doing videos, but like me adding some people to help do videos. That might change down the road. But yeah, things are looking very, very good. Altcoin markets are looking like they're ready for another short-term rejection after a little pump. So we're probably going to see a little pump for like a week in altcoins. Okay, and then I would see good exits if you're swing trading that pump, and good entries on Bitcoin. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, stay profitable.